Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be talking about the best shoes for point guards, right? So I'm a guard and I feel like most guards want a very lightweight and responsive shoe, right? So guards are typically smaller dudes that are pretty quick on their feet. They're very shifty, right? A lot of these shoes have really good traction just because traction is obviously super important for guards. If you're if you're a bigger dude and you're kind of like more backing people down, right? Then you don't really need as much traction. But if you're, doing pull-ups, doing crazy crossovers, side steps and stuff like that, and also if you're smaller, you need a shoe that's super responsive, right? If you're doing a move, you want the shoe to respond in a very, very quick time, because if if it slides out a little bit, you lose a little bit of time and you have the potential of being blocked and stuff like that. And also you don't want to be sliding around anyway. So traction obviously is super important. Support, of course, is pretty damn important as well. Like if you're doing a lot of crazy crossovers and stuff, you need good lateral containment, right? Cushion, not as important, you know what I mean? I feel like most people, they just want a responsive cushion if they're a guard, right? Like a low to the ground feel. Of course, cushion is more of a cherry on top, but I feel like most guards, if the cushion is too soft, right, and you lose a little bit of responsiveness if it's too soft, right? If it's too mushy and stuff like that. So it's more of like a responsive cushion, but if it has good impact protection, right, and a little bit of rebound back and a little bit of bounce, that adds to the responsiveness, and of course that's good. But if there's too much compression, too much bounce, too much softness, then obviously it's not as responsive. Cushion is more of like a cherry on top. But all these shoes, if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I try to leave the link in the description box. All these shoes are really, really good performers. But I'm going to try to explain like which shoe is good for what, because they are pretty different as far as like the cushion, how they fit and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get it started off with the New Balance 2-Way V3. So the 2-Way V3, I mean the 2-Way line has been very, very solid for New Balance, right? And the 2-Way V3 is really, really good. It's called 2-Way because it's for 2-Way guards, right? For defense and offense. But the traction is really good. The traction, you have a very solid bite. It picks up pretty minimal dust as well. But the cushion also is low to the ground, right? But you have also good impact protection. It's soft, right? Nothing too crazy, obviously, but adequate impact protection and stuff like that. Material is super supportive, but also it conforms to your foot very well. Support's great. And it's a pretty good looking shoe. And there's some really good looking colorways as well. So the 2-Way V3 is a solid option. Next, we got every Curry pretty much that you can get right now, which besides the Curry 1 Floatro, just because I didn't really like the Curry 1 Floatro because the toe box is pretty damn roomy and it like scrunches up in the toe box, which I don't like. But obviously that's just my personal preference. But yeah, traction obviously is really, really good. It's almost too good, especially on a really, really clean court. Cushion's not amazing. Cushion kind of sucks. I guess you're like more low to the ground. It's more of a responsive cushioning setup. However, there's not a whole lot of compression. Impact protection, I would say, is all right. But super minimal and super lightweight. Like out of all these shoes, like the Curry 9, Curry 10, Curry 2 Floatro, Curry 4 Floatro, they're like more on the lighter side of things, right? If not the lightest, right? So Curry's super duper good shoe if you want a really responsive cushioning setup with not too much as far as like the cushion, All right, next we got the Adidas Harden Volume 7. The Harden Volume 7, okay, so just be careful on the weight. The Harden Volume 7 definitely is it's probably the heaviest shoe on this list. However, it's a very responsive feeling shoe, right? So I didn't really have a huge issue with the weight or the heavier weight because I felt very quick in it, right? The traction is really good. It picks up a little bit of dust, but if you do wipe, you should be good to go. A cushion also, you're really low to the ground, and the step and comfort is great. You can feel the boost, right? It's super soft right underneath your foot. Impact protection is really good. Material overall, it conforms to your foot very well. It's super cozy and comfortable, right? But not super bulky feeling either. And I love that, inner knit booty, which feels great on the foot. Obviously, if you don't like more of like a heavier type of a little bit bulkier shoe, especially comparing to like the Currys, then obviously it's not the best option. But what it excels at is responsiveness and also super comfortable, especially for the materials, right? So there is the Harden there. Next, course, the KD15. The KD16 should be coming out soon. It's slated to release in the summer of this year. But the KD15 is really, really good besides the heel slippage. Or my advice to you guys would be, if you guys can try on the shoe before you get it, you know, go to like Nike or Foot Locker or whatever. And if you don't experience like really bad heel slippage, then you should be fine, right? But if you do, obviously don't get it. But the traction is top tier. Cushion with the folding zoom struggle unit, and then the heel cushion with the foam has good compression as well. And the material is super thin, a very supportive shoe as well. So the KD15 is a really nice performer. Next, we got the LeBron 20 and the next gen, right? So LeBron 20 next gen, a very, very similar performance. So yeah, it's just that the next gen is $40 cheaper, right? So anyways, traction is really, really good in both of the shoes. Cushion also with the Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, and then the heel cushion, right? It's a little bit different from the next gen to the LeBron 20. However, they're both very nice. Impact protection is great. It has a good amount of like balance. It has a great balance of everything. Bounce, impact protection, you know, step in comfort, court feel, right? So it does everything really, really well in my personal opinion for the cushion. Material, I mean, next gen is a little bit thinner. LeBron 20 also, it feels a little bit more supportive for the overall shoe as well, but they're both very good for support and lockdown. Great looking shoes as well. So yeah, LeBron 20 and then LeBron next gen, amazing shoes. You can't really go wrong. Next, we got the Jordan Tatum 1. So the Jordan Tatum 1, super duper light feeling shoe. The traction also is pretty damn good. It's just, it does pick up a little bit of dust. The cushion is really nice. I love the cushion. I love the, you know, the forefoot zoom unit feels great. It feels bouncy, but not too soft, not too much compression or anything like that where I feel a little unstable. Like for example, in like the Jordan 37 low. The heel cushion is also super soft. It feels great, and court feels really good in that shoe as well. I would say just as good as like the Hardens and the 2AV3. Okay, so the Tatum 1, however, is not the best for support, right? If you're looking for a super duper supportive shoe, probably look elsewhere, right? But if you're like a lighter dude like me, I mean, I didn't really have any issues with it. It was adequate for me, so you should be fine, or most people should be fine. But if you need absolute support or really, really good support, then the Tatum 1 isn't the best. But the good thing about that shoe is the cushion. Also, it feels really, really lightweight, right? All right, next we got the Jordan Luka 1, and I would say it's more on the lower tier on this entire list, just because the cushion is probably one of the worst cushioning setups on this list, right? Probably the stiffest, you know, just like the Currys, right? The traction also is good. You know, it's really, really good. It does pick up a little bit of dust, however. Support's really good. And overall feels great. You feel very responsive in that shoe. It's just the cushion is pretty lacking, especially comparing it to all the other shoes on this list. All right, next we got one of my favorite shoes to play in right now, which is the Nike Jaw 1. The Jaw 1 is really, really nice. The traction is top tier. It's god tier right now. I love playing in that shoe because of traction. Cushion also is very, very nice. You know, for a guard, I feel like it's really good because it does everything really well. Not as good as the LeBrons, right? But it's just more subtle as far as the overall cushioning setup goes. But we have a top-loaded forefoot zoom unit, which feels nice. And, you know, nice subtle bounce, nice subtle compression. Heel cushion is pretty nice as well. Overall, very, very good support, lightweight shoe. So the Jaw 1, in my personal opinion, I really enjoy playing that shoe, and I have a really good time when I'm playing it, right? So there is the Jaw 1. Next, we got the Puma MB 2. I really like playing in that shoe. It's just the material, like especially for the quality with all that fuse, not the best, right? But it's a very fun shoe to play in as well, right? There is that outsole curvature. The overall traction is really good as well. It's just, it picks up a little bit of dust, but if you keep up with your wipes, you know, it's a super easy wipe as well, then you should be good to go. The cushion, it's very good for impact protection. It's overall like on the softer side of things, but nothing crazy, right? Step in comfort is all right as well. It's not bouncy though, right? It's more like on the softer side of things. Material super thin, but like I said, for quality, not the best, but the MB2 is still a very good overall performer. Next, we got the AC11, one of my favorite shoes to play in on this list as well because the traction is so good, but the cushion is really, really good. It's probably one of my favorite cushioning setups on this list. So we have full length boom, but we have that soft mesh strobo board, which feels very, very soft underneath your foot. And also there's a nice rebound back, a nice bounce, right? Material super thin, it's supportive as well. Very responsive feeling shoe too. So AC11, great. Same thing with the Son of Flash. However, the foam is a little bit different because it's not full length boom. It's just two boom pods, right? One in the forefoot, one in the heel, but you still get that soft mesh strobo board. It's a great looking shoe too. Support is, I would say, even a little bit better than the AC11. It is on the heavier side of things, but traction also is really good, so you feel very quick when you're playing in it. So Son of Flash, very, very good. Next, we got the Wild 10. You guys already know. It's super expensive, however, but amazing, amazing performer. The cushion is really good, full length boom, right? Traction also is really good. A very thin material, support is great too. So the WOW 10 is a great option. It's expensive, right? Next, we got the 8082, right? The 8082 or the 8082 V2 or the 8082 Ultra, 8082 Ultra V2. Out of all of them, I would probably say I like the 8082 or the 8082 Ultra V2, right? All of them, they're very, very nice. Traction is top tier. Cushion's really, really nice with the drop in, right? Good step in comfort. Support is great. Overall, very, very responsive shoe. And also, there's some really dope colorways and it's a great looking shoe as well. And last but not least, we got a super cheap shoe. I just checked on Famuji and it's going for 70 freaking bucks. And that is the DVD one, which is basically Spencer Dinwiddie's signature shoe. But that shoe is really, really nice. Traction is top tier. Really, really good traction. Cushion also is soft. It does bottom out, right? It does get a little bit stiffer once you break it in and stuff like that and you plane it, but it's still soft and very, very comfortable. The material is overall thin, but also the overall upper and the overall shoe is super supportive. Fits me very well too. So the DVD one is a very, very underrated shoe and it is the cheapest shoe on this list. Too bad the PG6 isn't on this list anymore because you can't really get it anymore, right? It's not really on Nike.com and a lot of the sizes are gone, so I'm pretty sad about that. I guess we might not get a PG7. I'm super sad about that, but I'm very happy about the Jaw 1. Maybe the Jaw 1 replaced the PG line a little bit, but the Jaw 1's a great performer as well. But anyways, as far as like my favorite shoes on this list, I would say the Jaw 1, Son of Flash, 8082 AC11, and the LeBrons, right? Those are my favorite, but either way, you can't really go wrong with any of these shoes. But anyways, that about concludes this list, and that's just this is just my personal opinion. Tell us what your favorite shoes are down in the comment section below. And again, if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a free link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.